Hi, I'm Jennifer Martinez with Mariposa Realty Group, and I am doing this video today to talk a little bit further about buyer's representation in real estate. So I have on the screen for you a sheet from the National Association of Realtors because in August of 2024, there were some changes that were made where realtors are now required to have a signed written buyer's representation agreement in place before showing properties. There's still a lot of confusion around this, and this is not a new practice. Buyer's representation agreements have been in practice for many years, just not all agents chose to use them. And so, what buyer representation really is it's a real estate service where an agent or a firm works exclusively on the behalf of the buyer to help them find, evaluate, and purchase a property. This relationship is formalized by the written buyer's representation agreement, where it outlines the duties and responsibilities of the agent to their client. Some of the key components of buyer's representation are agency relationship. So the agency relationship is where the agency acts as a fiduciary, meaning that they are legally obligated to prioritize the buyer's best interest at all times, provide loyalty, confidentiality, and disclosure while avoiding conflicts of interest. Compensation, which is a part of the agreement, talks about the terms of the compensation that the agent will receive at the close of the transaction. Many times, sellers have a listing agreement where they are offering compensation for the buyer's agent in that agreement, where it specifically states that they will receive a specific percentage at the close of the transaction out of the proceeds of the seller. If that is the case, then in that agreement, it specifically states that the brokerage will seek to get the compensation agreed upon from the listing brokerage in the transaction. But if that is not possible, then it is the responsibility of the buyer to pay the buyer's agent's compensation. So, for example, let's just say that you agreed to pay your buyer's agent 3% compensation, which is percentage of the total sales price of the property. So in this scenario, you go, you've identified a property, you fall in love, we're going to make an offer on this property. We find out that the seller's agent, excuse me, the seller is offering the listing brokerage 2% compensation for the buyer's agent. So you have an agreement for 3%. The seller's side is going to contribute 2%. You would pay that additional 1% out of your pocket at closing. So that is a short and simple explanation about what the compensation is. Compensation is always negotiable. Make sure that you truly understand the compensation that is being offered before you put the contract out, because it may change the terms or how you need to structure the offer. If the seller is not offering any compensation to the buyer's agent, then you need to keep that in mind for your budget and your finances so that you know how to structure that deal and your agent can walk you through that process and give you some options. There are showing services and full services. Not all brokerages will allow showing services because the showing service is simply an agreement to show you a property. It doesn't include anything related to agency compensation, and it doesn't give you the full protection that full services would provide for you. So with showing services, you're entering into agreement where the agent is going to provide you access to properties, get you information about the properties, walk you through those properties, answer your questions about those properties, and make sure that you can look at the property essentially, but you don't have the confidentiality, the disclosures, and the loyalty. So full services is where the agent is going to assist you through every stage of the buying process, which includes identifying the properties, doing the market research, right? Because you want to make sure that your agent fully understands what is happening in the market. the market value for the house today could be different from what it was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, et cetera. And you want to make sure what you are paying for the property is not over what the market value is. So your agent will be able to assist you in doing the research to understand what the market is doing and how to best structure your offer. It also, the agent will, excuse me, will also help you with writing and negotiating your contracts, will help you coordinating your inspections, your appraisal, your survey sometimes. They help you navigate the closing procedures. They can assist you with finding a lender. They can assist you with finding other professionals that will help you for the inspections process, both home inspectors, pest inspectors, septic sewer inspectors, various different needs that you're going to have throughout the transaction process. Again, one of the main things that you need to understand are their essential duties. So when you have a full service agreement, they are always looking out for your best interest throughout that transaction. You're going to have market expertise. So the agents are going to be able to provide you with local knowledge about the neighborhoods, the trends, sometimes even the schools, but you're going to have more information that helps you negotiate the best deal. You're going to have advocacy, right? They are going to negotiate on your behalf to make sure that you have favorable terms in your contract that matches with your budget and your goals. You're going to have agents that will help you problem solve, because there are sometimes things that happen during a transaction that pop up that need solutions. Experienced agents know how to navigate those problems and find the solutions. Communication. They are going to maintain transparent and consistent updates throughout this process to keep you informed so that you understand what to expect throughout the transaction. And again, simply remembering that buyer's representation means that you have a dedicated professional advocating for you throughout the entire process, keeping your best interest at heart, simplifying the complex process of purchasing a property. So I hope that this helps to understand a little bit more about what buyer's representation is. We'll make sure that we post a link for this resource from the National Association of Realtors that help home buyers understand what the settlement means and more about why these representation agreements are required. And just know that we are always here to answer any questions that you have regarding representation or the purchasing process or selling process of real estate. We thank you, and you have a blessed day.